looked like a really worthwhile exercise for your team out there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was probably the first thing I said after the game. It was a really good exercise for us, really good challenge. We've worked the players quite hard this week, so again, I think they went into the game slightly fatigued. I think that showed in elements of the performance, but I thought it was a battling, gritty, determined second half. Had a young team at the end, so I was really pleased that we were able to see the game out and get a good draw.
You obviously kept a lot of the senior players back. I guess that's the quick turnaround for Friday, and I suppose it allowed you to get those who were here tonight at least 70 minutes under their belts.
Yeah, the plan was to go as long as we could, really, to try and get the players near 90 minutes. We tried to protect a couple at the end, but yeah, with a quick turnaround, we didn't want the players to have to go again, so those players will now rest and we'll put out a totally different 11.
We've seen Miguel Almiron score many a goal like that, his trademark finish, but I suppose extra special for him in this stadium. What a night for him.
Yeah, an amazing moment for Miggy. I think the goal itself was a really good one. I mean, it was a really composed finish from quite a long way out. He's picked his corner and he's taken it really well. Showed his pace to get him behind, and the celebration and the emotion after that was great to see. You know, Miggy doesn't communicate a lot, speak a lot with us. He communicates really through his smile and his body language, and he's just a pleasure to coach and to be around.
You had some good performances out there tonight. The player I felt that stood out from all was Lewis Miley in midfield. Unbelievable composure, elegance. You look like you've got a player in your hands there.
Yeah, I think we felt that way for a while with Louis. I think the difficult decision we've had is he's so young, and you want to protect him, and you want to not expose him too soon, which can have a negative effect. But he's looked ready to be involved and to be around us and train with us, and he has done for a period of time now. But that was a very mature performance tonight against high-class opposition. That will do him the world of good, and I think he's shown as well he can play in front of a crowd, which is not always a given. So I'm delighted for him.
Anyone else? Behind at the back?
Can you just tell us who was unavailable because of injuries, niggles?
Sean Longstaff's still not training with us, but we anticipate he'll be back pretty soon. Joe Willock is in a similar position. He's not fully training with us. Javier Manquillo isn't training with us at the moment. I think that's about it.
Okay. Craig at the back?
On Louis Miley, Eddie, is he surprised you? Is he someone who will stay on the first team this season? I dare say there probably isn't a temptation to send him on loan at this age. What's the plan for him now, and has that plan changed over the course of the past, say, 4 weeks?
No, the plan's been a consistent one in my mind. He will stay with us this season. There's no thought of sending him on loan. For me, he's too young to be exposed to that at the moment. I think he needs to stay with his family and to train with us and to learn and develop around the players that we have. I don't think he surprised me because I've seen it for probably 6 months at the back end of last season, just how well he was developing and how strong he looked in the group. And physically, I think, is always the biggest test for someone so young. But you see him today, he's very, very good athlete. He's a strong, good size. So he looks like he can handle the environment he's in. And I think the next step for us is to push him and to keep developing him. And I'm sure he'll get minutes this year.
We saw Sandro last week at Rangers look wonderful on his debut. Out here, it's been a little bit different, probably up against Premier League opposition. But we spoke to Anthony Gordon 2 days ago, and he said it does take time. Have you got to really get that message across with regard to Sandro as well? It will take time before you see what you think you've bought.
Yeah, I think it takes time with every new player. My experience has been pretty consistent that there is an adaptation, especially for players that come from different leagues, and that can vary in time. I think Sandro would have probably experienced something different the last 2 games, a higher intensity, higher quality of opposition. I thought he handled himself really well in the second half. We changed his position. I thought he was excellent. But it will be different for him, and he's getting used to also the style and the teammates and the way that certain players play. That takes time to understand.
And just lastly from me, Fabian Schär's injury, was that serious or?
No, I don't think so. Well, we certainly hope not. He said it felt tight rather than a pull, so we hope that a few days rest he should be okay.
Was it hamstring?
Yeah.
Lee Ryder at the back?
Eddie, what have you made of the sort of American fans so far? I heard a few sort of boos about the water breaks. I don't know if you noticed that. what's your thoughts on sort of new fans coming to the game here?
I didn't know what the boos were for. I was trying to work it out, so thanks for that. I think.
They were saying that you didn't need a water break because of the air conditioning.
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand. I think the players look fatigued, so I think that was a welcome break for us. No, I've really enjoyed it. I think the people here have been really, really friendly. I've met a lot of American Newcastle fans who have been really passionate about the club and talking like they're fully ingrained in the identity of the club and the area. They know a lot about the players. So I think it's been a really rewarding experience for us. We met a lot of those people yesterday in the open training session. And the atmosphere today, I mean, it was like a cup final, really. The stadium, I can't give everyone enough praise for how that looks and the feel of it. It was a great place to play football.
And just on Carl Darlow, what's the situation with him? I don't know if I missed something earlier, but is he... I think I commented on him yesterday. I think he'll be travelling to Leeds tomorrow, I think, to have a medical and sign for them. And with your goalkeeper, I mean, Nick Pope's just come in tonight and had a great game. I mean, there was never any doubt that he's your number one, and he served a great reminder of it tonight. You're
delighted to get him back. He missed the back end of last season with his dislocated finger. We knew that was a problem for him, and we needed to get it operated on. Thankfully, he had that last week off, and that gave him a little bit longer to recuperate. The operation was a success. He's felt no problems, but you still need to see him deliver and check that he's physically fine, and those saves were certainly the Nick of old.
Okay, Ben at the front.
Eddie, I'm sure you won't want to give anything away, but your starting 11 in the first half didn't look too far off what could be a starting 11 for the opening game of the Premier League. Do you know the starting 11 yet, or close at least in your mind?
No, I don't, because there's so much football to come before the first game. So injuries, of course, will play a part. We've got another team playing tomorrow that could always change my opinion and give me food for thought. I urge them to do that. I'm willing everybody to do well and make my decision as hard as possible. Of course, you have a sort of a basic framework of what you think it may be, but it could always change.
Okay, Simon at the back, and then just to your left.
Hi, Eddie. You demand a lot of intensity from your midfielders, that midfield three. Initially, could it be difficult to play both Bruno and Tonali in the same lineup in terms of the way Tonali is going to adjust to the physicality of the British game?
These are decisions that I have to make. There's no guarantee for any player that they'll play. I have to pick a team that I think will win. That's the most important thing in my mind. It's never based on who I've signed, how much transfer fees cost. I think I've proved that previously. It's all about, at that moment, who is in the best physical condition, mental condition to perform and try and help us win. So those decisions I'll have to make in the lead up to the Aston Villa game.
Just a strange one on Tonali as well. When we've observed him around the group, he doesn't smile a lot. Is that just his personality? Is he just a thinker, and is he just a bit withdrawn at the moment, or has he got that smile in him?
I think everyone's different. I think Miggy's always smiling. Some players may be slightly different, but I think from what I've seen of Sandro and from what I know of him, I think he's happy inside, and I think people could have probably accused me of being similar. I can guarantee you I'm happy inside, but sometimes I don't show it. And no, he's been really, really good. He's been fine. He greets me with a smile every morning, and he's very good around his teammates. He's built some good friendships already, so I've got no concerns about his happiness.
Just to your left, please, Simon. Thank you.
I just want to ask you again about Miguel. How special is going to be for him the next season to play now more games with European football, and how's his English? Is improving his communication with you?
Yeah, I think I have a unique communication with Mickey. He seems to understand everything that I tell him. We have a good relationship. I really, really like him as a player and as a person. I'm really excited for him that he gets European football next year, and he gets to hopefully build off what was an incredible season last year with the amount of goals he scored. Big goals for us, and we're going to need that again. And he's now got 2 goals in pre-season, and he's looking really good. So yeah, good times for him.
Oscar?
Eddie, on Lewis, have you come across any 17-year-olds at his level in your career?
Not many. I think I have coached some really good players at that age that you think could go on and have exceptional careers. Sometimes that doesn't happen for whatever reason. And I think the biggest challenge for Louis will be mentally to handle, he's going to get a lot of press from this moment. And a lot of exposure, and it's handling that and it's dealing with that, and it's then waiting for his opportunity while keeping his head, and he'll have lots of people in his ear, and it's all those types of things contribute to how you handle success. And when it comes really early, that can be difficult. But we'll try and help him and guide him and educate him as best we can.
When you're saying the need to push him earlier from a footballing perspective, what does that entail?
Well, I think you always look at when players are so young, you're looking at their age, but then you're looking at what they can deliver as well. So I think it's a fine balance for me to protect him at times and push him at other times, because certainly today, if you didn't know his age, you wouldn't say he was 17.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you. Thanks very much.